Hello guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, did you guys remember what we covered in the previous session? What we discussed?
VPC creation, not gateway.
VPC creation and NAT gateway. Okay.
Pairing connection.
Did we cover the pairing connection?
Yes, sir.
It's completed?
Yeah,
Yeah,
got it.
Completed?
Yeah.
Completed, sir.
Okay. And what about the transit gateway?
No, sir, didn't cover.
Didn't cover. Okay. It means that we have covered pairing connection, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Last class we have completed the pairing connection.
Okay. Okay. Only 1 minute. Can you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Right. So this is what we are going to learn today, which is nothing but transit gateway. Guys, when we need to go for pairing connection, so whenever if your services, right, any public server or private server that wants to communicate between the VPCs, consider we have a VPC and one EC2 server got hosted. And if we have another VPC and we have a EC2 as well. Now this EC2 or this two EC2 wants to communicate between it means that one EC2 wants to call another EC2. Then obviously we require the pairing connection. Without pairing connection, we cannot call one EC2 to the another EC2 which is hosted on another VPC. And the drawback, if we go for the pairing connection, when number of VPC got increased, the number of peering connection also multiple, right? Because we have used some formula, n into n minus 1 divided by 2. Suppose if we have 2 VPC, then we need a 2 pairing connection. But if you have a 3 VPC, again, n into n minus 1, right? Which is n number of VPC, which is 3. 3 into minus 1, which is 2. 3 into 2, 6. 6 by 2, which is again 3. But if you go for the 4 VPC, again 4 into 3, 12 divided by 2, right? So that formula will be multiple. For that reason, the architecture will be bulky, right? If you go for multiple VPC, your pairing connection also will be multiple. So in order to make your architecture is simple, we have a concept called transit gateway. We have a concept called transit gateway. What is transit gateway? It's a kind of a central hub to connect a multiple attachment. Suppose if you want to connect a multiple VPC, or if you want to make a multiple attachment with respect to VPN or pairing connection or direct connect, we can go for this transit gateway. See, suppose this is my AWS account, and consider I have a 2 VPC, a VPC1 and VPC2. And VPC1 and VPC2, as you know, whenever you create a VPC, you will get a routing table also. VPC1 has a routing table and the VPC2 has a routing table. Right? Now, suppose if these 2 VPC wants to communicate with each other, then we have a AWS transit gateway. We can create a transit gateway. And consider, suppose, I need to, this VPC wants to communicate with, maybe a VPN. We can use this transit gateway. Or this VPC wants to communicate with this data center or direct connect. Again, we can use the transit gateway. Or even the pairing connection, right? We can use the transit gateway. So this transit gateway supports a multiple attachment. It might be a VPC or VPN or direct connect, or we have a pairing connection, right? So one transit gateway, almost, a 5,000 attachment can be able to communicate with each other. It is not like if we go for normal pairing connection, for a 2 VPC, we need a 1 pairing connection. For 3 VPC, again, we need a 3 pairing connection. It is multiple, right? But if we go for transit gateway, only 1 transit gateway is enough. 5,000 attachments can be able to communicate. It might be a VPC or VPN or direct connect or pairing connection. Are you getting my point, guys?
Yes, Dinesh.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's see practically how can we implement this pairing connection, the transit gateway. And I don't have a setup on direct connect or VPN or pairing connection. Maybe directly we can go for the VPC part, and let's try to understand how this transit gateway works. We'll see. So let me quickly open the AWS start. Amazon.com and click on sign into console. Right. Let me search VPC. And if you go with your VPC, I already have a default VPC is ready. This is my default VPC. So let me create one more VPC because I needed 2 VPC minimum. So create a VPC. The resource to create, yes, VPC only. I will go with this. And then I have a tag. So let me create. This is my Intel VPC and IP version 4 CIDR range. So let me give the CIDR range as well. 10.0.0.0 slash say 16. 16 is the CIDR range. And then no IP version for CIDR block. Okay. And let's take the default and click on create a VPC. And my VPC is ready now. Now I have a two VPC. One is my default VPC and another one is the Intel VPC. I have a two VPC, default VPC and Intel VPC. Right. So now for default VPC, you already have a 6 subnet, but for your Intel VPC, I need to create a subnet. Can't create subnet and create this Intel VPC. And we will go with the subnet. So this is my Intel subnet. And we'll go with some availability zone. Say consider 1B is an availability zone. And I will use 10.0.0.0 slash say 18. I will use this as a CIDR range. Now let me click on create subnet. And I have a subnet also. So there are two VPC now. One is Intel VPC and the default VPC and subnet. We have a different default subnets and we have a Intel subnet as well. Now, let me create a EC2 instance now. Create an EC2 instance. And I will create two instances. One is on your default VPC and another instance on your Intel VPC. So for that, click on launch instance, click on launch instance. Say this is default EC2 machine I'm going to create and select the AMI. So I will go with some AMI. Instance type T2 micro. Select the key pair and I will select this one. And this is my default VPC. As you know, this is the default VPC or you can edit it as well. So it's a default VPC. Suppose if you want to select some subnet, yeah, you can select a subnet also. So it is, say this one. And auto assign public IP address, yes. Create a security group. Fine. That's it. So only thing is you have to select the availability zone and the default VPC already got selected. Click on launch instructions. And we have this EC2. Let me quickly create another EC2 also. Say this is my Intel EC2. AMI. I will select this one. This AMI. T2 micro. Key pair. This one. And click on edit network settings. I can select Intel VPC. And subnet, yes, this is a subnet I have selected and assign this IP public IP address. And once it is completed, let me click on launch instance. View all instances. Now we have two instances. One is for default and another one is for Intel VPC. Can you tell me what is next? Did anyone remember what is next?
Routing table is not created.
We have to create the routing table also. It is not created yet. So let me go here and let me search for VPC. And we have a routing table. We already have a routing table also. See, if you see here, there are two routing table. One is the default VPC and another one is Intel VPC. This is the default one and this is one Intel. Both are a main routing table. And if I open the default routing table and click on routes, So already, okay, 1 minute. Let me delete the transit gateway, which already been configured. No issues. Edit the routes. Let me remember this. Service. Service. Yes. Now, go to this routing table and go to these routes. So as of now, only this is the CIDR range got allowed. But before that, I need to create a transit gateway, right? I need to create a transit gateway first. So how to create the transit gateway? If you see the left-hand side panel, you can find the transit gateway. Click on create transit gateway and give some name for your transit gateway. Say this is my transit gateway. And then, so keep everything as a default. If you want the CIDR range, you can give it, or otherwise click on create a transit gateway. So now we have done the VPC part, and we have created the instances also and routing table. Now I have to configure the routing table where I need to configure the transit gateway. So let's configure the transit gateway in both the routing table. We'll see. Still it is printing. So go to the actions. Sorry, go to the actions. Let's wait. Yes, it's available now. Now let's go to the routing table and here click on edit routes and click on add route. So what you need to search, guys? Can you tell me?
The IP address.
0.
IP address of
Transit gateway.
IP address of transit gateway. So any IP address is available for transit gateway?
Oh, we haven't given, so the CIDR range we haven't given it. So we can use maybe 00.
0.0.0?
Yeah.
Okay.
One.
So let me
And here
search.
transit gateway.
Yes. Select transit gateway, but nothing. Why? Why? So if you go the transit gateway and it is available, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what is the mistake that we are making? In default routing table. put the routes
Not given the inbound and outbound routes. Hello.
Inbound and outbound. That's not required here. Yes, can you tell me?
Actually, we can apply on the route ID in search box. Then
ID syntax. It means that
The attachment is not done.
sorry.
The transit gateway attachment.
Okay, so let's go to your transit gateway attachments. So far, we have created just a name.
Yeah.
We didn't add any attachments. So what we need to do? We need to do the transit gateway attachments.
Yeah.
On transit gateway and give an attachment. Say the one attachment. Say one is the default VPC attachment. Default VPC attachment. And here you have to select which is the transit gateway. This is the transit gateway. And the attachment type VPC. And select your VPC ID also. Say this is the default VPC. Default VPC. So what we have done? The default VPC attachment, transit gateway, and the attachment type is VPC. You can go for the different attachment. Say you can go for this one, VPC, or you can go for a VPN, or you can go for pairing connection, or you can go for direct connect. Anything you can go for. So now, as of now, we can go with the VPC.
If you connected VPN means virtual private network access means,
Yes,
then only will use, right?
Yes, yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's create a transit gateway attachments. Create a transit gateway attachment. So quickly, let me create another transit gateway attachment also. So this is my Intel VPC attachment. Intel VPC attachment, and select the transit gateway. We already have. And the attachment type, okay. VPC ID. I will select the Intel VPC. And we have selected only this region. So that's the reason I'm showing this one. This subnet. So click on create a transit gateway subnet. And let me have now there are two subnet attachments. It's only 1 minute. Let me come. Okay, okay, let's continue. Yep. So what happened? We have created a two attachment now. One is default VPC attachment, another one is called Intel VPC attachment. It is completed. Fine. Now let's go to the routing table now. Let's see where is the default routing table. Here we have a default routing table and go to the routes. Click on edit route. It's a default. Of course, first step, we have to allow the internet gateway that we can complete actually that I have removed. Where is my internet gateway? Here. So click on internet gateway and click on save changes. But along with that, I can add one more route, which is Intel peering connection, right? That time we have added the Intel VPC CIDR range. Here we have to add same. Let me check the VPC, which is Intel this one, and CIDR range is this one. And go to the routing table and go here, click on routes, click on edit route and add a route. Here you need to add, this is the CIDR range and the internet, not internet gateway, transit gateway. So transit gateway, it is available. Your default VPC attachment, transit gateway. Click on save this. The same way, let me go routing table. Before that, I can copy the VPC. This one. And go to the routing table. Where is my inter? Yeah, this one. Click on routes. Click on edit route. And add a route. This is the CIDR range. And check for the transit gateway for Intel VPC attachment. Click on save changes. It is completed. Yep. Everyone clear so far?
Yeah, this is
Yes.
Now let's connect my EC2 instance. Click on connect and click on connect. My EC2 instance connected, and let me try to ping your this one, ping this machine, copy this IP address. And I will use a ping command, ping, paste V and press enter. It is not pinging. Okay. So let me just type google.com and pinging this one, but it is not pinging this one. The reason because we have to allow, right? In security group, we have to allow this ping. So how to allow? Yeah, tell me.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
So actually, go back up. Screen, please.
This one? Yep.
Yeah. So what is the command for ping command and also next command?
Yeah, ping and then you have to give the IP address. Private IP
Yeah,
address.
okay.
Public.
Yeah, okay. That is not a pinging. And then what is the exit command?
Control
For,
C. C.
Control C. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, yep. So check now. Go to the Intel EC2, click on security. And I have to add the inbound rule. Click on this. Click on security group and edit inbound rule. Let me add one rule. So I have to allow all the ICMP IP version 4 and give it anywhere. Click on save. Now just to check my instance. Say I will take this one also, no issues. It's pinging right now. Yes or no?
yeah.
So this is how we can configure the transit gateway. So even your number of VPC got increased. You no need to worry about the transit gateway. You can configure only one transit gateway, right? So that's the advantage here. Now, if you want to read some documentation, let me show. See, AWS Transit Gateway, it will connect your VPC or on-premise network like through a central hub. So this connection simplifies our network and puts an end-to-end complex pairing relationship also. It is a very high scalable router. So using the transit gateway, the direct connect or VPN or even a VPC, you can able to communicate. So just read this article if you want. Most of the in the interview people might ask, if you have a multiple VPC or multiple VPN, how you can establish a communication between the VPC or VPN. That time the answer is pairing connection, it is correct. But using the pairing connection, the architecture will be bulky. So for that reason, it is better to go for a transit gateway. Everyone clear?
Yeah.
Guys, there are two more topic which is related to your AWS, which is one is S3 bucket and identity and access management. So these two topics I need to cover. Okay, so better. This is all about your VPC, guys. VPC we have completed. Any question on VPC?
No.
If you have any question on VPC, you can tell me now. Any question on VPC? Right. If you don't have any question, yeah, tell me.
This one, how to access the two machines using the VPN or VPC?
So VPN, first of all, we have to create it. So we have a dedicated session for that one. That time I will tell you how we can make the communication between the VPNs and all.
Okay.
As of now, remember the VPC. Later, when I start the VPN topic in DevOps, that time I will tell you.
Okay. Sir, still in this models are there, right? In the AWS, some models, methodology is there, right? The AWS.
Model sense like OSA layer, you're talking about physical layer, data layer that you're talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the
We have
next
a
class.
different model, yes.
Okay.
So those models, it's a OSLI layer, we can call it as open
Okay.
system interconnection layers. So when I cover the load balancer, we will talk about the different layers.
Okay. In the IaaS, SaaS is there, na? Software as a
Yes.
service.
Yes. Yes.
That topic is
It
a
is not
different.
required now. When I cover the DevOps, that time we will talk about the different models and whatever the model that you are mentioning. Infrastructure as a service, right? That and all we will.
Yes. That all comes in under AWS, right?
Yes, AWS, but we don't require so far. So when I cover the DevOps, that time we will talk.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. So let me give you a small intro with respect to S3 today. S3. So if you ask me what is S3, S3 is nothing but simple storage service. S3 is nothing but simple storage service. So it is a cloud-based service cloud-based storage service, which is, given by your AWS. So in AWS, we have a storage service called S3. So using that, we can able to store and retrieve large amount of data, guys. So it is providing an unlimited storage, actually. AWS S3, using that, we can able to store large amount of data. Like maybe suppose if you want to store the documents, yeah, we can able to store. To store the images, yeah, we can store. Videos, we can. And suppose all the application backups. Did you remember when I cover the EBS snapshot? That time I said we can back up all the part, using this S3. The same way, application backups, that we can store it with help of a S3. So S3 is a simple storage service which is provided by your AWS, where we can store an unlimited data. Unlimited data. So in simple term, I can say S3 is like it's a kind of virtual hard drive in the cloud that we can access from anywhere at any time, as long as we have an internet connection. We can use it. We can use it to store the files of any size, and we can share them with others also, and even host the entire website. We can able to host some static website. So that I will cover going forward. But the only thing is you have to remember AWS S3, it is providing an unlimited storage where we can store the different documents we can store. As of now, clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And remember, using this S3, if you ask me, right, is the region specific? Yes. In S3, we can call bucket actually. Remember EC2, we can call it as instance. The same way in S3, whenever you create that, basically we can call it as a bucket. We have a term called a bucket. So this bucket we can able to create inside your S3. It means that when you create a bucket only, we can able to load all your buckets of all your objects. When I say objects, it might be images, or it might be a video, or any file that I need to upload on the bucket, which is called as object. So that's the reason it is also called as object storage or file storage, right? Object storage, or any file that I want to store, that I can able to store with the help of S3 itself. So later I will talk more theoretically. First of all, we'll see how this S3 looks like. Let me clean the resources before that. Okay. And I will delete the VPC as well. Before that, go to the transfer. It is deleting. Okay, let's wait. And meanwhile, let me see S3. So when you see S3 here, you can see the bucket symbol, right? So it is a scalable storage in our cloud, which is called as a bucket, right? So in S3, we can create a bucket. So when you click on this, here, there are already some bucket I have created. So better, let me delete them. Initially, bucket should be very empty. So okay. Now it is your screen also looks like this. Create a bucket. So every object in S3, when I say object, any file, any document or images or videos in S3 is stored in a bucket. So to upload a file and the folder to S3, we need to create a bucket where the object will be stored. Remember, bucket, it representation of your S3, right? Using this bucket, you can able to upload any objects. When I say object, it might be a files or image or videos, whatever it may be. So let me click on this, create a bucket, and you can give a bucket name. Say, suppose this is demo bucket. I can give some name. Bucket name must be, remember guys, bucket name must be globally unique and must not contain any spaces or uppercase letter. This is the important thing you have to remember. Bucket name must be globally unique means in every account, every person, they are creating a bucket, that name should be unique name. So let me give a bucket hyphen, say this is one, and date I'm going to give bucket which is done by Dinesh Kumar hyphen. I can give 28 March 2023. So this is the name I'm going to give. And the region. And remember, your S3 is just regional specific. S3 is a regional specific. A particular region, you can be able to create your bucket. That's the reason it's showing it's a global. Here you have to select the region. Which region you need to go for. So let me select the North Virginia region. Let me select the North Virginia region. And this thing, I will tell you later. In default, you can leave it as it. Guys, in default, the S3 bucket, it will block the public access. It will block the public access. No one can be able to access unless or until you uncheck this one. In default, in AWS, it will block all your public access. So turning this setting on is the same as turning all your 4 settings. Okay. Public access is granted to the bucket and object through access control list, bucket policy and access point. This I will cover. So now let me come below, and in default, your bucket versioning also got disabled. What is bucket versioning? I will talk about. So let me come below and just to create a bucket. Only one thing you have to give. One is bucket name and select the region. That's it. A bucket name and region. Click on create bucket. So this is how you have to create a bucket. Say suppose, let me create one more bucket just to give a bucket hyphen. Say I can give DK hyphen 1 hyphen. Say 28 hyphen March hyphen 2023 and select the region. No need to worry about the other steps. Click on create a bucket. Click on create a bucket. So everyone clear how to create a bucket in S3?
Yeah,
Yes.
Dinesh.
Yes. So we have created a bucket now. Now let me click on the first bucket. And can you see here, you can able to upload an objects. So objects are fundamental entity, which is stored in your Amazon S3. Objects are fundamental entity, which we can store it in Amazon S3. Right? So how can I upload? Any files that you can upload with the help of this upload button. And before that, click on properties. And nothing as of now properties. We are going to discuss the different properties for your S3. So let's leave it and go to your objects. And we can able to upload. Say suppose I will download some image. Say S3 image. And go to images. And I will select this image. And I can save this file. I'm going to save it. Okay, in desktop would say. Click on save. Now, let me click on upload. And I can add the file, or you can, if you want to add some folder also, you can add it. Let me go with the files directly to it. Click on add files. Go to downloads. Not downloads, desktop. S3 image, which is available in the form of PNG format, and click on open. So here you can find the metadata. Can you see the metadata? So name is S3 image.png, and there is no folder, and the type is PNG format, and size is also automatically calculating. Size is also automatically calculating, which is 3.1 KB. So when you upload, guys, when you upload any file, you know, it will, where it will be loaded, it will be loaded onto your S3 bucket. So this is the S3 bucket ARN, right? So here you can upload. So click on upload. That's it. That's it. You can able to see the image. And metadata is this one. Name, folder, type, size, status is succeed. There is no error at all. Right? So click on close. Now we can see an object. Now suppose if you want to upload some other object, click on upload and click on add files, or you can drag and drop also. And I will take one image. Say suppose, let me take which one? Yeah, I will go with this one. This time I will go with the index.html. It's a file, HTML file. Click on open. And click on upload. And now go to this bucket. Here you can find there are two files. Either I have a PNG file and HTML file. So this is how you can upload a file inside your S3 bucket. Is that everyone clear so far?
Yeah, Dinesh.
Now, listen, every file got uploaded. It will give you one URL also. Can you see the URL? Every file you have, you can able to see the URL. So what I will do now, let me copy this URL. We copy this URL and paste it here. And this is the URL we got, right? Index.html and press enter. And we are seeing an access denied. Why we are seeing an access denied? Can you tell me?
The public IP was blocked, right?
Yes. In default, whatever the images that you are uploading into the S3, already blocked all the public access. We don't have any access through the internet. We cannot access this particular image, even if you have a URL. So if you want to see this one, first of all, you need to enable the public access. How to enable the public access? So you see, block all public access. It got on under your permission. So let me go with this edit. Let me go with this edit and I will uncheck this one. When I uncheck and click on save changes, and I'm saying like to confirm the settings, I will write a confirm and click on confirm. And now objects can be public. Objects can be public and block all public access. It is off. Now let's go here. And still I can see access denied. Still I can see access denied. Why? Can anyone tell me?
You have blocked the public IPs.
Yes, I
So-
just enabled, right?
Okay.
So better, this is your task. Tomorrow, you guys can tell me why I'm seeing this error. Guys, this is very interesting. Definitely you need to get the answer for this one because next to 2 or 3 session, I'm going to take the S3. Only this thing you must remember. For that reason, I'm giving you as a task. Tomorrow, let me know how can I see the uploaded images from the S3 bucket. Is that okay?
Okay.
Will you get the answer tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Done.
So fine. So we will continue from tomorrow. And the one thing, guys, tomorrow we will have at least a 2-hour session. Guys, to plan it. Fine. Plan from 7 to 9. Morning 7, 7 to 9.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay then. We'll see tomorrow, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.